Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to eSports Report.
Yes, sir.
Finally time for the QuickScope.
Yep. So, all opinions and group discussions today.
Yeah,
so
2
it
days in a
doesn't
row.
seem like anything we battle about.
But yesterday was pretty good because we had a good discussion over a lot of things. But today's show is a little bit different as well. Max was telling me it isn't all Call of Duty based. Normally the QuickScope is very COD based. It's like, oh, if so and so happened and so, what would be the outcome?
Right.
Today we're going to talk about some different games where I feel you may have an advantage over me.
Oh, highly. Yeah.
So I'm glad it's not a head-to-head thing.
Right.
Ironically, we're going to start with the Call of Duty question. So, the question numero uno. There was a Reddit thread on r/COD competitive today discussing who are the top 10 players in AW right now. We always seem to have the same players in the top 5, so who would be in our top 10? Let's all sit down and discuss this and create a solid top 10.
That's
I could just imagine Mike saying it like that. Alright, so let's sit down and discuss. I'm sat down. You sat down?
Yeah, I'm sat down.
Alright, let's discuss this.
Formal, Scump, Crim, Karma. Enable,
Clay.
Clay. Hook.
Slasher?
Let's play pinball.
Maybe?
Maybe.
Keep pushing it? Maybe a little bit. Saints. All right, so yes. See how do we how is he that I feel like that should have been right at the beginning. That's 9.
No, that's
Is that 8?
That's 8.
Are we not including Slasher?
I didn't have. Yeah, I think you have to put Slasher.
We're including top 10 right now. What about play like Octane? 10.
Right. Well, no, I think you have to include Slasher, and then I think you have to include like Temp, like one of the Elevate guys. And then there's 10.
Would you go with Octane or 10?
10.
10. Would that be that's a solid top 10? Who did we miss anyone? We said Enable. We said Hoop. Anyone that we missed? I'm just trying to think. We said Saints.
I think you could definitely make a case for well, Attached probably in there.
I feel like we haven't seen him in so long. It's
Right,
weird,
you kind of forgot about those guys. Attached has to be.
Attach. Does he?
Yeah.
Top 10? Yeah. Who does he replace?
Okay, let's put it this way. If everyone was a free agent right now, who would be the first 4 off the table? Tell me who. Who would be the first?
I would go straight for your Scump, your Formal.
Tell me who your
Karma.
Tell me who your first 4 people would be.
I'd just go straight for the Opti team.
Okay.
I would maybe replace Karma. No, I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that.
So then who would be the next best 4 you can make?
Clay. Enable. Who else would I go after? And I could pick up 2 more players. Clay, Enable. Hook. And maybe Attach. Yeah, maybe you're right. But then would that be a good fit?
And then your other 2?
No, I would go Saints. I would definitely have Saints in that squad. You'd have to have Saints. That wouldn't even make sense not to have it.
And then if you make another, let's say,
you're
make
right.
another 2 after that, like.
It's an interesting question though.
I mean, I think it's kind of easy though.
You reckon?
I mean, I think like some of the other Elevate guys have like a case, like maybe like TJ.
I feel that's top 15 now.
But I feel like
top 10, like that's a higher class of players.
Yeah.
But all right, that's question 1.
Apathy. But even then, it's like if you're.
All right, so what are we basing the top 10
I feel like if you're a
of?
top 10 player, like you should be on a team that's like
Gonna win something.
it's like doesn't get like first rounded, but like second rounded. Like you know what I mean?
Is it? Yeah, you can't be like that.
Like
that's
one
the thing.
player can't do everything, but still, it's like.
Yeah, if you're that high of a caliber of player, you're not gonna be on a team that's gonna get crapped on. Or at least you shouldn't be.
Right.
If you're that good, you're going to carry your team to at least pass to round number 2, where then you can get knocked out.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's question number 1. All right, now to question number 2. With E6 now in the relegation tournament for Season 3, should we consider them a lock to qualify? Or are people hyping them up too much?
No, I wouldn't consider them locked to qualify. We went over the stats that they had yesterday.
We did?
They're scary. I mean, they're scary. Like, that team went on a run that with those stats, like with those, like, you know, if you were to predict like how they would have done, like if you took those stats.
If I showed you those stats and you didn't know how they did, you'd be like, oh, maybe they were like, what, top 24, top 32?
Right. If that.
Which is completely fair because the stats are just weird.
They're
the fact that they were able to
bad.
do what they did with those stats is like, okay, they're doing something correct.
Well, and now everybody is kind of looking out for like they're not going to kind of run up on teams and surprise them.
Yeah.
Now how do they do?
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of pressure.
Which they did great at Michigan eSports, but
Michigan eSports.
Right. We'll see.
Not going to be that many high quality plays. I think it's a very high percentage chance that they do well, but as Matt said, you got to kind of worry when you look at some of their stats as in depth as we went into. Moving on. Next question. More and more hype has begun to surround Overwatch as an FPS esport. In our honest opinion, how big do we think Overwatch becomes? Alright, there's two sub-questions to this. Would other FPS players transition to the game? And what is Overwatch doing that COD should implement? So let's start at the beginning. How big do we think Overwatch becomes?
I think Overwatch gets pretty big. Blizzard is going to go...
pretty hard.
Right. Do what Blizzard does. I mean, you've seen how successful, like CS:GO has been on PC. I mean, the FPS kind of genre. Is anything really challenging COD and CS:GO?
I mean, Battlefield tried, didn't really do very well. Does okay in Europe.
Okay, is anything seriously challenging Go and COD?
FPS now. Like, people thought Halo was going to do it, didn't. I think this is the game that does.
I think this is a game that does. I think it's it's kind of funny. It's like you take like Team Fortress 2, which is a really good game. You make it more competitive,
essentially,
and you put it in like a Blizzard universe. Like like the fans who just love like Blizzard games will play.
So many different audiences there. It's great.
Right. And then it's like, you know, I mean, I think you're gonna hit like tons of audience there. I think it'll be huge.
Now, this is the first sub question. Will other FPS players transition to the game?
There's other FPS. What do you mean, like competitive FPS players, or just
pick an average, like let's say a top 20 COD player.
Yeah.
So someone who's had a pretty rough year. Let's say Overwatch comes out at the same time Black Ops 3 does. Will we see FPS players? Or even better, let's say the next COD after Black Ops 3 is a failure, completely fails. Just imagine. Will we see COD players go over to Overwatch and try and make a run there? No? Are they too? No. Are they too different?
One uses this.
I'm sensing an example.
The other uses.
Right, but
one of these.
Is it really like a game like Overwatch as well, where it's not like Counter-Strike? You can tell by the gameplay we watch. It's not like Counter-Strike is very, very difficult to play.
Oh yeah.
Comparative to I'm playing with a controller.
Right.
I feel like that game didn't look as intensive in terms of how.
It will be.
You reckon it will be?
It will be
for a keyboard.
100%. Yeah. Did you play TF2?
Yeah. I thought that was fine. I could play that fine.
Really? I don't know. I think it's too harsh of an adjustment.
All right. So what about players that have played in different genres of games? So let's pick like say CS:GO.
Right.
Do CS:GO players experiment with this game, or do they just?
It all depends on if there's like a structure with like money and tournaments and.
True.
Why would anybody kind of risk a career in like a game that like CS:GO or COD, which you know what you're gonna get?
Yeah.
For something that
you don't know.
You don't have any structure or anything for.
Good
I think it'd be crazy.
Good point. And what is Overwatch doing that COD should implement?
It's actually funny. I think the one thing that they're doing that COD should implement, we will implement in like Black Ops 3, and that's the different classes with the specializations and stuff.
Yes.
An actual like an actual difference between the way my character plays and Ben's character plays, and the difference between Ben's character and another character. Like there's an actual like variety in the game. It's not like
it's cool to see.
Right. It's not like the game comes out within 8 hours. We all know what perks we should use. We all throw them on and just mindlessly kill people.
That's
it's like really I think there's going to be an actual variety in the game. I'm excited.
And what's great about that is you can patch different things to make other classes or whatever you want to call it more powerful. And if let's say the game comes out and everyone's using one character, oh well, we just nerf that, make it more playable.
Who said they couldn't just come out with like DLC and add like 4 specializations?
How
it's like
that be?
Oh, then it changes like the whole meta, because then a new specialization mixed with another one, maybe that combines like for a good combination of players on a team. So you don't know.
I'm excited. All right, so that was the Overwatch question. Next question. There has been a lot of hype surrounding the remake of High Rise, also known as Skyrise. See what you did there. In AW, with the new Supremacy DLC. However, is it too little, too late to be releasing this map? Should it have been in DLC 1 or 2? It's a Very, very weird question. I'm just going to go ahead and scrap it because it's an awful question. Doesn't matter when it's in. I think it's great. Matt, probably being competitive play.
Doesn't matter when it's in, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think so.
All right. Question number 5. Destiny is one of the most popular games on consoles right now. One thing holding it back, though, is the lack of custom lobbies, which I hate, by the way. Do we think if Destiny had custom lobbies, the game would be a successful esport, or would there need to be a massive tuning in terms of player classes, weapons, etc.?
Yes, it would be an awesome esport, and I wouldn't change anything. I think it would be awesome, like the part of the meta of it. Like, let's say like we're going into like a 3v3 like custom match. It's like, well, let's say like everyone's been playing for a really long time, and it's like, oh, Benson on Team MLG is like the best, solar warlock in the game, like something like that. So like we're preparing like our builds to deal with you, but let's say we don't know, like you have a decent void build, like you play a decent void, like who knows if you use that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And it's like a whole kind of meta.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even think about that.
And maybe there's like a whole like lobby system where like the host or the caster or whatnot can see which classes and builds each player is doing, and that's like a huge story to talk about.
I never even thought about that. That's a really good point, because then it kind of has that kind of counter, like what am I going to do to try and stop you being as powerful? You have to build different things. That's a really, really good point.
And it's like, let's say like a team wants to play a little bit more passive, like maybe like your team, like, oh, I know they use like defender type because they want to play a little bit more passive, so maybe like we'll just use all our like damage. Like, because and just like go, like maybe I'll use void, like we'll use a blade dancer, like we'll just go heavy on like damage because we know you're just gonna sit back and like play slow.
Interesting.
Do you think I think there'd be like a huge like meta in that? I think it'd be sweet.
Do you think it's too? I don't want to say too late, but
no.
I feel like people when the game first came out had such hype, right? The game was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome, and they're slowly giving us updates. Nothing too crazy, because like I played the crap out of it when it first came out. I was like, eh. Kind of lost interest. Then you got my interest back into it. We played it a little bit, and then we both kind of went, yeah. Like I feel like the game needed custom lobbies from the beginning, because now a lot of people have that stigma about the game where it's like, I don't want to play, it's boring. Like to convince people to go back to the game, because like custom lobbies for me, it's
a game that's gonna last like 10 years. Like this franchise like isn't going away. I mean they have huge plans for this franchise.
True.
So it's not like. No, they add custom lobbies in now. It's like, oh man, it's a dead game. It's like one of the only games that's released that's actually worked properly.
That's a really funny point.
And it's the only one that was like on all consoles too. And then, it's got a huge following. It's still one of the most played. I would love to know the numbers. It actually might be the most played console game right now.
You think?
I think actually
the most played.
I think it's definitely in the top 10. Let me see if I can find out.
Oh, it'll 100% be in the top 10.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. But that's a really interesting point. Matt just saying how it's one of the only games that actually works. We sat down the other day and we tried to really think about, on release, how many games have actually worked? Like, worked. There really isn't that many. And Destiny is really one of the only ones which, when it came out, we could safely say, oh, everything's going to be good. What was the percentage of serviceability? It was like 90...
like serviceability was like 98% or something like that.
That's absurd. That's ridiculous. That's so much serviceability.
I'm trying to see if they still have the lists of like these are the top 10 most played games on Xbox Live for the month of.
Oh, apparently it's FIFA.
They don't know for sure, but
FIFA wouldn't surprise me as one of them. I could definitely see Destiny being up there.
Oh, without a doubt.
There's so much stuff that you need to do. Is that? Ooh, that could be it.
No, these are from a very long time ago.
Oh, really? Like how long ago? Oh, 2013.
Yeah.
Smooth. Well, we can make an educated guess to assume that it's going to be up there. Right. Oh, there, hit that one. What are the 5 most popular games on Xbox Live? When was that?
This is a year ago.
Oh. Screw it. Forget it. Anyway, moving on. Question 6, and we actually have a IMGO for this. So Parasite seems to be leaving TK after X Games. How much does this set TK back, if at all, and what does Parasite do next? I'm not sure if you saw it, but last night, Matt, there was a big argument on Twitter between Sharp and Parasite. Parasite tweeted, I think it was like 2 weeks remaining. And Sharp was like, I can't believe you have this attitude. You're literally the worst. They continued back and forth. I think we do have that IMGO. Interesting. We can try and pull it out
I
and
think we
see
do.
Exactly what it is. But yeah, Does it set TK back? I don't think it does at all.
No, something we all expected.
Right.
You didn't expect nope, Parasite to be there forever. I mean, did you?
No. Not at all. I think the interesting real part of this question is, what does Parasite do next?
Right, that's the most interesting part of the question, because
where does he go?
Yeah.
What does he do? Does he play in season 3?
You'd imagine he would.
You think?
Yeah. You don't think he will?
No. I think he's in the team. Same thing happened to him in Ghost. Literally the exact same thing. Just couldn't find a team. Oh, GTA as well. What about that? I imagine that's up there as one of the most played games. Sorry, I'm still thinking. I hope you find that, because I'm really curious to find out what that is. But yeah, I think Parasite's going to struggle. Don't think it sets TK back at all. Final question. Do we think that coaches in Call of Duty will ever return to the prominence it was in Black Ops 2 now?
No. Once I left, there was no point for it.
You're such an asshole, but it's so true. It annoys me so much, but it's so true. Why? All right, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Why? Why did no one else kind of do what you did?
Because they couldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Because all you did was really understand the game. You had a good relationship with the players, and the players trusted you.
Right.
Why can other people not do that?
Because why would players trust somebody else who's never been a player?
All right, what about who we pick?
It was really easy to kind of go in and be like, hey, you guys should trust me. It's like, well, why should we trust you? Because I've won everywhere I've gone. On like every game I've ever gotten.
It's true.
It was like, okay, fine. We can believe that.
How funny would it be if you like never actually won anything ever, and you're just like, I've won everything.
I stayed at a holiday last night. Don't worry about it.
Listen to me.
But no, I think you
don't
need
think anyone else can do that?
Unless you had somebody like if Tuger wanted to.
Dude, I imagine he'd be a great coach. But like, I still feel you need that drive to actually want to win. You know, like it's all good and well saying, "Oh, I've won before." Like, listen to me. Whereas if you don't actually,
but you still have to care about the outcome that's going on now. Exactly. Like I wanted to win probably more than they did.
You reckon?
Like crap, yeah. I hate to lose. I hate to lose in anything.
It's true. It's I can confirm. It's
like I despise losing more than anything. I think
I don't think coaches will ever really return.
Also,
which is a shame, because I would love to see coaches kind of develop the game a little bit, if that was possible for them to do.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like if I said to you, take away yourself, give me some COD coaches. Name some coaches.
The previous coaches?
Yeah, just coaches that have been in COD. Name a few.
Hilton, Mud Dog, APOC, Flamesword, Maven, Gandhi.
You got Dinge from Epsilon.
But I feel like people just started picking up a coach because we had a coach, and it was like
let's pick up a coach because it's the end thing to do. That's how like looking like from a cast perspective is like, for example, Maven coaching. I love Maven to death. He was not a good coach in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, he's the crappiest coach ever.
Him being a coach was kind of him learning the game, which was really like a smart thing to do, but he was not a good coach.
Right. Well, people didn't know how he utilized like the whole coach thing.
It's like, out of all those coaches we just listed, it's like Flamesword being a coach. Like, what did he kind of bring that same element that you did of like, oh, you know, he's played in other titles, because he didn't have that knowledge of COD, right? Whereas you kind of sat down and you learned the game very quickly. It was like, all right, well, you know, you need to go to this hard point 15 seconds
Well, I was also like completely unbiased too, like the opinions. It's like if I thought Ian was like wrong, like even though I like knew him like the best, like I would just roast him. Like I would just roast him, like just forever.
Really? You just like tear into him?
Yeah.
I feel like that's needed. Whereas a lot of other coaches.
Then he would like, they would hate me like for like a few days, and then they would start to play better, and then we'd all laugh, and it would all be fine.
Interesting. But yeah, overall answer to the question, no. Probably never gonna see coaches again.
No, I don't think so.
Which is a shame, unless Black Ops 3, there is kind of a need for something along those lines. I don't know, because I mean, like for example, what was the main reason for a Halo coach? Like, what if I said to you, describe to me what a Halo coach did? What would you say?
Like count weapon power-ups.
Count weapon power-ups? I just let the players know.
So
So maybe there was something like that in Black Ops 3. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. But even then, I feel like the level of coaching would need to be taken a little bit more seriously overall, rather than, because to me, you can't call someone a coach if they just stand behind a group of players and scream.
Yeah, which is a lot of what people thought I did. But those people are idiots.
To be fair, when you're on camera, that's what we saw you do.
Right, yeah, oh yeah.
This is why you got dropped. Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh, no, yeah, I said all that.
You said some horrible things.
I would damn say it all again. I would say it all again. No, I actually would say it all again. But,
I'm surprised.
I mean, I knew the spawns better than, I would go on record at Black Ops 2, I knew the spawns better than like 90% of players. Easily.
Probably.
I can tell you where someone was going to spawn up every single time.
Knowledge is important, folks. Knowledge is important. Anyway, that concludes today's QuickScope. And for now, we're going to get a quick commercial break. But when we return, Sir Christopher Puckett will be joining us.
Lord Puckett.
A Play Sivo interview. Sivo's got some exciting stuff going on. Of course, after that, me and Matt are going to be casting COD. It's relegation tournament time. Be right back.